Hello and welcome to the Awkward Corner, a podcast where we discuss everything and anything to do with design. I am your host, Stephen, and with me today is Amy.
Hello.
And SJ.
Hello.
How are we both?
Okay, slightly hysterical.
Slightly hysterical. Is it because we're excited?
We
are.
very excited.
What are we excited for?
The Jubilee!
Jubilees. God bless Her Majesty. Yes, it's a special episode, really, I suppose you could say, for the Jubilee and all the celebrations that go with it. How excited are you? Are you having a street party?
Yes.
Just you?
Yeah, just on my
How much
own.
of a street party?
Yeah, you're clearly excited because you're currently draped in a Union
I
Jack.
am looking like Britannia herself. Yes, I know there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'd ask you if you were a royalist, but I don't think I have to, do I?
No, you don't.
No.
I love the royals. I love the
do.
royals. I love you. When I get my knighthood.
Absolutely not.
Can you go straight to a knighthood? Or do you
No,
have to
I
go
think
through
you
the...
have to get an MBE first.
Can we
don't
just
you?
pause for a minute and talk about what you might get your knighthood for?
That's not the point, is it? I just wondered whether you could go... Because like footballers and people go straight in, don't they, sometimes?
Maybe, yeah.
I
Maybe it
don't know.
depends who you
Straight
are.
in, straight in.
I always get confused by OBE, MBE.
If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Realm, Knight of the Realm.
I think...
Knights of the Round Table.
The
Oh,
Knights
give us your
Templar.
joke. Give us your joke. Give us your joke.
Oh.
Oh, I've forgotten it. No, you can't do that to me because I'm not very good at telling jokes.
Oh.
I have to prepare myself in advance, and now
All
it's
right.
going to be awkward because there's going to be an awkward
Well,
silence.
this
while
is the awkward corner.
I can't remember the joke.
Oh, come back
Can
to
you
it.
can you tell it?
Well, I'll have to have a think about it. But I know it's something to do with the knights. This is the content people want.
Oh, man.
This is why.
I've forgotten it.
Right. Okay, well, we'll come back to that.
Okay, thank you.
Pure gold
That's all
right here.
Yeah. I'd actually just like a peerage, if I'm honest. None of the rest of it. Just straight in, Lord Mattyman
You
knows.
can buy those on the internet.
I tried that once, but I wasn't happy with the package.
Contact one of your Tory friends.
Say no more. So, the Queen, not 50 years, 70 years on the throne.
It is 70 years, platinum.
70 years on the throne. Nobody in history has done it before. That's why we're here talking about it, really, in terms of talking about, well, royal history, but, design and all the things around that. I do think it's quite impressive. Do you think it'll ever be done again?
Oh, I don't know. She's,
I mean,
legend.
scientifically speaking, people are living longer.
they are.
It's the length of reign, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because she was quite young when she took the throne. So it's probably very unlikely anyone's ever going to be as young as that again without some awful disaster.
Yeah.
Not wishing
I mean,
the
never
family
say never.
any disastrous.
Let's not go down there. We're happy.
Oh,
We're
right.
celebrating.
I'm not sure that's what we should be discussing today, is it?
Sorry about that. Just taking it down a
Taking it to a dark place.
I think it is definitely something to celebrate.
Yes.
And I don't think we definitely won't see it in our lifetime. So who knows?
No.
It makes no difference to us whatsoever, does it? So
Here's a question, though, just slightly off tangent again, bringing it back to death. Would you go to see the Queen lie in state when she does
No.
die?
no.
Well, that's a hard question, actually.
Because I'd like
I
to
think
go.
I would.
I'd really like to go.
I would not. I definitely would not. In Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh is still embalmed and laid
Yes,
out,
that's
and
right.
you can go and see him.
Yeah.
And when I was in Vietnam, I didn't go.
I didn't do that.
I was like, absolutely not, no thanks, not for me.
I quite. It's one of those things that it's like maybe
It's the
like
Queen, though,
I
isn't
know
it?
that's what I'm given. How long she's been on the throne? Maybe they'll parade her.
I saw
Is
the
that
dead
right?
body.
I don't know if that's right.
Parade.
God, I don't think that's the right word. I saw the dead body of my cat, Wilf, when I was maybe like 7, and it's never left me, and I just don't think that I want to do it again.
Was he lying in state
He
or
should
lying
have
in a
been.
state?
He should have been. What a guy.
I quite like it. I am very excited though. Obviously, you do need the death of a queen, but a coronation equally very exciting.
Yeah.
Because hardly anybody, not that many people remember the
No.
original
the original
coronation
coronation.
in 53? 53, yes, 93, 53.
Well, if it's 70 years, you probably, if you think that you're about 5 when you start remembering things, is that
Yeah.
about right? So you've got to be 75 plus.
King Charles. King Charles.
That's interesting, isn't it? We're getting used to saying king.
King.
And
King
not
Charles.
queen.
God save the
Do you
king.
think he will, what's the word?
Abdicate.
Abdicate, yeah.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No, I don't
not
think
think
so.
so?
No.
Sorry, Mum.
Is your mum a big fan of William?
she loves William.
William.
Absolutely loves him.
You sounded really well today.
Did I?
William.
William. William. Oh, it's lovely. The Queen's coronation. Let's add a bit of context before we get going. I have got some interesting facts, 50 facts, but not all 50. I'm not going to.
Jesus, we've got all day.
I know.
Can you just pick your
Right?
favourite, please?
I'm going to try. But so Westminster Abbey was the setting for the Queen's coronation in 1953.
Yeah.
And it has been the setting since 1066 for every coronation. Which is bonkers.
Yeah.
That is bonkers.
When you think about that, isn't it? It's madness, that is. Queen Elizabeth II was crowned on the 2nd of June, 1953, Westminster Abbey. She is the 39th sovereign to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. So it just goes to show, even though it's since 1066, there's not been
That's not that many,
It's
is it?
not.
39.
It's not. That's what's interesting about it.
What's that over the period of years?
What per
Yeah.
what? Do I look like
Average.
Carol Vorderman?
Today you do. It's that wig.
It's the scar. It's the flag.
Oh, I just want to know on average. what
I
that-
don't know. It's got well, how many is it? It's like 900 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nearly? So
What was it, 39, did
I
you
don't know,
say?
about 3.5.
Talk amongst yourselves. 900 we say.
I'm saying numbers now.
Yeah.
I'm saying numbers.
25 years.
Is it? Yeah. So the Queen's 3 times as long then as the
Yeah.
average.
Yeah. How long was Victoria on the throne for?
Not quite as long.
No.
Hence why she's just gone. It was wasn't it about 68? Because
don't know, I'd have to
she had her Diamond Jubilee, and then not long after that, I believe she passed away,
She passed away.
or a few more years. But I know it's because the Queen recently went past her reign, so she'd gone
Yes,
past
yeah, I
Victoria,
remember that.
and now we're heading into the actual Platinum Jubilee.
We have had a couple of really long sitters, haven't we?
We have
Yes.
women as well,
Women.
Yeah.
strong.
And
Indeed.
your old pal Henry VIII must have been on for quite a long time,
Well,
considering the number
and
of
his-
wives he got
and
through.
his daughter,
Yes.
who was another
Elizabeth, yeah.
equally long reigning queen,
Yeah.
especially for that period when death was
Upon them.
always round the corner.
This is turning out to be very
I know.
Good talk, I know.
We're meant to be celebrating.
We'll get
The
there.
death of a queen, the death of a cat.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Rest in peace, Wolf.
God bless Ralph. Queen Elizabeth II, though, is the 6th queen to have been crowned in Westminster Abbey in her own right. The first one was Queen Mary
Yeah.
first, and that was in 1553.
Yeah.
So literally, that's really interesting. I just think, I love this kind of stuff. I've got to be honest. Do you want to know about the Queen's coronation dress?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
And I'll tell you. Designed by British fashion designer Norman Hartnell. It was made of white satin and embroidered with emblems of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth in gold and silver
I
thread.
never knew that.
It's beautiful. And I know the crown she wore on the way there has all the home nations. So there's a thistle on there, there's something from
yes.
Wales, and there's the rose. Yeah, it's all that. This fact I find really interesting. So the recipe for the anointing oil that they use in the ceremony
Yeah.
contains oils of orange, roses, cinnamon, musk, and something called ambergris. Ambergris? Ambergris? I might not be saying that right, but it has it in it.
What is that?
I'm not sure. Google it. They make a batch up for a number of coronations. So it's not just done for the coronation.
So it hasn't got a sell-by date on it.
Clearly not. Maybe it just gets better with
Is
age.
it called ambergris?
Ambergris. Is that it? Maybe.
No, that's not
That's not it. That's not it.
Oh, ambergris. Hang on.
But a batch is made for every, to last for a
is it?
number of coronations. Oh.
Stone?
Ambergris is often described as one of the world's strangest natural occurrences.
Oh, well,
I'm
that
hoping
suits
we've got
us.
the right thing here. It is produced by sperm whales
Oh, yes, this is right.
and has
It's
been
very,
used for
very rare.
centuries.
It's very, very rare.
Yes.
How does the
Super
sperm
It's this
whale
unique
produce it?
phenomenon.
They don't they regurgitate it or something.
Oh, gross! And then they put it on the queen.
Hey, I didn't make the recipe, did I?
There must be a reason why. Is it because it's so rare?
It is very rare.
me to the Tower
Now
of
you
London.
said sperm whale. I do remember it being super rare. But obviously because of the war though, and the bomb hit Buckingham Palace,
Yes.
Then it all got
9 German bombs attacked them.
it all got smashed up, so they had to create a fresh batch. So when Charles, I assume, when
How
he becomes
inconvenient.
king, he'll be the first one anointed with a new batch of oil. I mean, this is good
With
stuff.
the new sperm.
The new sperm.
Well,
It's not actually sperm, though, is it? I think we've worked that out.
yeah.
Here's another interesting fact: the Queen was crowned in St Edward's chair. Have you ever seen St Edward's chair?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
It was made in 1300 for Edward I, and has been used at every coronation since that time, and it's permanently kept on display in Westminster Abbey.
I'm googling as we speak.
I remember seeing a documentary about when they restored
Oh
it.
yes.
It's
Coronation chair.
it's very, very important as part of the coronation.
Do you, can you see this? Is it there? Is it
Yes,
always there?
Yeah, I believe it is. It was taken away for
What is
restoration at one
Will
point.
I get a shot if I try and sit in it?
Probably. Don't try and lick it either.
I like the detail. It's got kind of like carved lions at the bottom.
Yeah, they look like lions.
Yeah, it's a lovely chair. My final fact.
Sorry.
On
Yes. Do
So
continue.
that's fine. So obviously, huge event, her coronation. People from all over the world coming in. Among the many foreign journalists was Jacqueline Bouvier. Does that name ring a bell?
Marge Simpson's mother.
Not quite.
That's Marge's maiden name was Bouvier. Wasn't it?
Well, it might well be. But Jacqueline Bouvier was later to become First Lady of the United States of America. It was Jackie Kennedy.
Kennedy, of course.
She was working for the Washington Times Herald at the time. And I love that fact. Doe indeed. I have loads more, but I'm not going to continue. But I just think it's interesting to set some context for,
It is, definitely. I
for,
think we
for
do
what
need
the
to touch on the
Jubilee
history.
is all about. Let's get into some royal design. Okay. Amy, do you want to kick us off with your...
I'd firstly like to talk about the Union Jack.
Okay. As I'm
Mainly because you're wearing
one.
it.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about the best uses of the Union Jack in design and in culture.
Yes, over time.
And obviously, Stephen, you are now in at least the top 22.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So I've got on my list the Mini.
The Mini on the roof.
On the roof.
Mini Coopers.
Classic. Jerry's dress.
Jerry's dress.
Which is probably number one for me.
Hence Spice Girls. Just, putting that out there just in case.
For those of you
For the
that
young
lived
people.
under a rock. Jerry Halliwell. Off of the Spice Girls and her dress.
Mrs. Christian Horner, I just want to say.
Yes.
For all the racing fans.
Yes. Yeah, I thought he was a rugby player then for a minute, but thank you for getting in there first. Absolutely no idea. Noel Gallagher's guitar, 1996 in Oasis.
Yep, the height of
Union Jack.
Cool Britannia.
This is why I think that 1996 was the key year for the Union Jack.
It definitely was.
Possibly so. Possibly.
96, 97.
I'd say the Battle of Waterloo was pretty good, but...
You would. And then the God Save the Queen Sex Pistols album cover.
Absolute classic.
Designed by Jamie Reid.
Which you said they're re-releasing this
They
year.
are re-releasing for the Jubilee,
They
which
want
is
to
brilliant.
get it to number one.
Yeah, so let's help them, folks. Should we promote that? I don't know. Anyway.
But are there any others you can think of?
My mum has a really lovely teapot with, with one on. Or used to, anyway, when she was collecting
I
them.
was thinking more on the grand
Iconic,
stage.
yeah.
Sorry, Mags, but just maybe like...
Oh no, I might have got it wrong. Wasn't there a James Bond film? And he jumped out and the parachute was
Was the
with the
Union
Union Jack.
Are you not thinking
I don't
about
know.
the
Are
Olympics
you making
opening?
that up?
Are you not thinking about the Olympics opening thing where they made a thing up that the Queen had done that?
And it was like Daniel Craig.
No.
And it's like, do
might be that.
you not
Maybe it's
remember that with the
Yes,
Queen?
yes, I do. Totally do.
It's either that or Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Austin
that's a good
Powers, of
one.
course.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But then you've
there
got
was.
people like Vivienne Westwood,
Yes.
Who's used it quite a bit.
who's used it quite a bit.
She has. Yeah. Where else? So I'm just thinking. I don't know. I think you've probably mentioned some of the most iconic.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the use of furniture as well, isn't it? When you think about the Union Jack being plastered on furniture.
Yeah.
At the
If you
time.
remember around about the time that Will and Kate got married,
Yeah,
A lot of them
there
then.
was a lot of it.
there was.
A lot of them.
A
Yeah.
lot of artwork, a lot of... I remember
Monks.
seeing a Chesterfield sofa.
Yes,
That
that's
they'd done in
it.
the
Exactly.
Union Jack.
Yeah.
I can't remember who did that, but I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And it was everywhere, wasn't it?
It's not something I'd be. From
No,
all my
I think
love of
it's-
the Union flag.
No.
Yeah. I'm not sure. There's that controversy, though, isn't it, over whether it's the Union flag
Or the
or the Union Jack. Do you know the difference?
No, I don't.
No,
I
I
was
don't.
about to ask you. What
Are
the
you going to
difference
tell
was.
us?
Well, the Union Jack is associated with the Navy having naval parents. That's the context. So it's a Union Jack when it's supposedly on a ship.
On a ship.
But when it's not, if like when it's draped
inland.
around somebody's shoulders, like
So
mine.
you are currently wearing the Union flag.
Flag.
Not
If
the
you were
Union
to
Jack.
if you were to go and stand on a boat, it would be a Union Jack.
That's
Okay.
right. There we go.
okay. That's
There we go.
right.
There we go.
We are right by a river, so
Don't throw me in. Please don't throw me in.
Just so we can say he's wearing a Union Jack.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. This is the legacy from the Olympics, though, which, again, was another time it was very well used.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us the context of how you used it?
Well, my legs were cold.
no. Well, how did you describe it earlier when you were wearing
We were
it
at
as?
the Olympics, and it was a lovely summer's day, or I thought it was. I had white shorts on. There's
I mean,
a picture.
stop there already.
And it got chilly, so I decided to wear it like a sarong and warm my legs up. But look how thin it is, though. It didn't really do a good job.
No, yeah.
No, but I looked patriotic.
You did.
That's all I can say.
Very good.
What else have you got then? SJ, have you got?
I have got
Kick us
some.
off.
Yeah, I've got some facts about Westminster, Buckingham Palace. So, there are 775 rooms in Buckingham Palace.
Wow.
And going back to when you were talking about the staff, there are how many staff bedrooms do you think there are in Buckingham Palace out of the 755?
5?
No,
500.
188.
Oh,
92 offices.
they must have more staff than that, though.
But there are 92 offices in Buckingham Palace, 78 bathrooms, 52 royal and guest rooms, 19 staterooms, and there are a staggering 770 windows, 1,514 doors. There you go.
It's a big old
That's a
palace.
lot of doors.
It's a lot of doors.
Do you like Buckingham Palace?
Doors. Doors and wheels.
Doors and wheels. Yeah, there's one for the internet. And we know it's wheels, so we'll end that there.
No, it's doors.
It's wheels.
It is
Oh,
doors.
you are going to have to explain.
What is them all? You've never heard that?
No, but you're going to have to explain for the people that are listening
Oh,
that have
right.
no idea what you're talking about.
They probably know more than I do.
True.
Is there more doors or wheels in the world? And obviously there's more wheels.
Well, I think there's more doors.
Definitely more wheels.
I don't know or care.
We had this debate the other day,
We did.
but hey ho.
I forgot what I was saying.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's definitely a sandwich. And I'll fight anyone who says
There we
otherwise.
go.
Back to Buckingham Palace. Have you got any more
Do you
facts
like
for
it?
us?
Do you like it though, before we move on?
It's not my favourite of the
No.
palaces.
No, I agree. Have you seen it without that addition, the famous facade that everybody sees now, which has
Yeah,
the
which-
balcony on
the
it? That's
John Nash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at the house, if you see the drawings before, it's a much lovelier house because it has this like U shape to it, and it would have been, I think, a much prettier
Yeah.
house. It's quite stoic, isn't it? Which I suppose for a royal palace,
Yeah.
maybe you want.
It's
Interesting.
iconic though, isn't it?
It is. I
It is
for
now,
it,
yeah,
know.
very much so, yeah.
mean, I think it's more of a tourist destination, isn't it, as opposed to.
Queen's gotta live
just an
somewhere.
iconic piece of history. Yeah.
Queen's got to live somewhere.
But not from July to September.
No, because she's at
'Cause
Windsor.
She goes to Windsor.
That's right. And we'll come back to that.
I think the other fact that I had was the different houses that have been made, or the iconic British buildings that have been made popular due to the Netflix series The Crown, which is Lancaster House, Ely Cathedral and Eltham Palace. The last one that I've got,
What was
that was a nice sound.
It's like
The Grudge.
That was my mind.
I thought it was a lion off the royal standard.
That Buckingham Palace has its own clockmaker who
Yes.
works there all the time, maintaining over 350 clocks and watches, ensuring that time passes smoothly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of clocks.
Hampton Court Palace has one too.
Yeah.
But I do have some other
Interesting Buckingham
facts
Palace.
about Buckingham Palace.
Have you ever seen Henry Winnie's
So
Hampton Court?
1982, Michael Fagan broke into the royal residence.
Yes, I remember
And
this.
entered Queen Elizabeth
Yes.
II.
Yeah. Bedroom.
The second, just in case there was any confusion.
Just thought I'd point it out. I mean, no, come on. It's like when you say there are two twins. Yeah, clearly there are two twins because twins
There
are
are two twins.
Um,
I remember this. I'm old enough to remember
Yeah.
it properly.
I remember.
Yeah.
which, I mean, what happened to him? Do we know where he is now? Because I think surely, like, you'd, a bit like me getting in that chair.
The tower.
Yeah, you'd be at the tower.
He didn't go to the tower. He was just
Which
arrested.
is really how I want to go.
But to the tower.
Yeah, like if I'm going to die anyway, I want to be sent to the tower.
I mean, it's a spectacular place to go.
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he just get caught straight
just
away?
went- he just
Or
went
did he
in.
just went in.
Yeah.
Imagine
Have a poke
getting
around.
into the Queen's bedroom.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
What was
know
he
what.
planning to do when he got there?
That's exactly
That's
my
a
whole
different
point,
podcast.
Yeah.
Very
was
much a
his-
different podcast.
What was
there's
Fagan's
also-
intention?
There's also a series of tunnels underneath
Yes,
Buckingham
there
Palace,
is.
so they
Yeah.
can get from one place to another without being noticed. And it said that the Queen Mother and King George VI once descended into the tunnels and met a man from Newcastle living in there.
Why, iPad?
Surprised it wasn't someone from Wales.
What are you trying to say?
Just can you imagine their reaction? What hope?
You're right, mate.
Come here often.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Yeah, I love that. I just love the idea that someone managed to get into the tunnels and was living,
I was living there.
And never left.
Again,
Living
I
the
want
best
to know where
life.
that minute man is now.
I'd like to know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still
If you're
there.
still out there.
You just left him under
He's still there.
Well, he's happy, so
Yeah.
keep him where he is.
Like
But
a real life hermit.
that's I think we've covered all of our facts. We've
Yeah,
exhausted Buckingham Palace. Let's
I've
move
only
on.
got one more, just one more.
Okay.
So in 1851, Queen Victoria made the first ever public appearance on the palace balcony. So little did she know that she'd started an iconic tradition that continues to today.
It's true. And actually, Queen Victoria started an awful lot of the
she
traditions that we currently
She
have
did.
for the royal family, didn't she? Christmas trees
I was going to say Christmas trees.
is the big one. You know, I love Christmas
Don't stop banging on about it.
because Christmas cards,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a whole thing that they really brought to royal life and then public life once people saw it. Where else are we going in this royal melange of places? And
Well, I've been in a Hampton Court Palace hole now for about 3 weeks.
not the tower.
Not the tower, unfortunately.
Down
but
a- down a
maintain
Tudor
it's-
hall.
I maintain it's where I want to end up. So Hampton Court Palace was originally built, but it's synonymous with Henry VIII. But it was originally built by Cardinal Wolsey.
Yes, it was. Beautiful.
And it wasn't as big as it is now. It was added to, but he built it. I love this story. He built it. Henry liked it, and we know what Henry liked. He got.
Yep.
So the door was always open for Henry. Obviously, he was the king who could go wherever he liked. Sorry, Esther, would you like a biscuit?
Yes, please.
Here you go, my love.
For the Queen.
Carry on.
Put it on a doily.
Where was I? Cardinal
You were
Wolsey.
talking about Cardinal Wolsey and the fact that Henry VIII
Now he
liked.
couldn't. He was tasked with trying to help Henry divorce his first wife. I'm sorry, I can't concentrate while you're eating a biscuit in that way. It's very suggestive.
It's a good job people can't see. Who knew she could eat with her feet?
All right, I'll stop.
When he couldn't help with the divorce, he fell out of
This
favour.
is right. This is very true.
And at that point, Wolsey thought, right, what can I do to stop myself being beheaded? I'll give him my palace.
What do you want, mate? What do you want?
So he gave him the palace. But 2 years later, he was dead anyway, so it really didn't help him at all.
Just
What
belonged.
did he get beheaded in the end for something else?
I think he went to the tower.
He did go to the tower.
So he did do something else then.
I just think that when Henry decided that you were no
was
longer,
time.
Bored.
you would be
You were dead, mate.
strung up for all sorts of things. Interestingly, though, it's one of those places where all 6 of his wives spent time. One died there, and 2 spent time there just before they were under house arrest there before they were sent to the tower. So it's got loads and loads of history to it.
Didn't they all serve as ladies in waiting
ladies
as
in
well.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much how he decided on his next wife, whoever worked for his current one.
Promote within.
Yeah.
I mean, you've just got to nurture your work staff, haven't you? That's really, really what it comes down to. And one of the stories that I was really fascinated by, slightly digressed from where I should be, is the story of Catherine Howard. So she was the fifth wife. She was very, very young. She was probably only about 17 or 18 when she died. You just checking that she was the fifth?
No, I was checking which one, whether she was divorced or beheaded.
She was beheaded.
That's right.
Yeah. So Henry was told after they were married that she had lain with another man pre them being married, and it is potentially true. But there is some
saucy.
There is some discussion about whether it was consensual or whatever. But it was investigated. Apparently, he was quite calm about it when he first found out it was investigated. But when it was said to be proven, he apparently said, "Bring me my sword. I'll kill her myself."
I like that.
Which I like.
I like that. Here he goes. Back to death again.
I do like your Henry there as well.
Did you? Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
quite deep.
Bring me my sword.
Bring me my sword. She was put under house arrest in the Queen's apartments, and she apparently escaped and ran through the gallery. It was at the time the gallery. It's now called the Haunted Gallery for reasons that will transpire in a minute. She ran through the gallery, was banging on the door of the chapel where she thought that he was in prayer. My lord, my lord.
Oh. I love the fact that you're acting this out as you're doing
Sorry,
it.
I'm
She's
so
like
invested.
running
I'm so
through the
invested.
gallery. Okay.
I've always been a big fan of Anne Boleyn, but when I started reading about Catherine Howard in this depth...
Anne's taking a back seat.
Yeah. No, I think that she's great for different reasons. I don't think that Catherine Howard was particularly great. I don't think she did anything wonderful.
No,
but her story
just as a good story.
Is really sad. She was then beheaded.
Yeah.
But it's said that her ghost still runs through the gallery.
I knew you were going to say
my
that.
lord, my lord.
Are you there, Catherine?
Bring me my sword.
Bring me my sword. I'll kill her myself. And yeah, so that's basically where I got to in my research. I watched a lot of documentaries about the ghost of Catherine Howard.
Oh God.
And are you any closer to her?
No, but I'm hoping that in about 4 to 6 weeks I can summon her spirit. I've got some things ordered online to help. It's a beautiful, beautiful place though. The Great Hall was added by Henry. It's got a hammer beam ceiling. I've never ever been.
Oh, you should go.
So I've rely on photographs and all the many documentaries I've watched about ghosts.
There's the famous thing with Anne Boleyn there, though, isn't it, in Hampton Court with the initials?
Yes, that's in the Great Hall.
Yes.
So while she was being beheaded, he had the carpenters in scratching off her initials because when he built the Great Hall, he was infatuated by it. And that's the thing with all of his wives. At the time, he was completely obsessed. To the point where people around him were going, "This is just a bit weird."
King, though.
Do what you liked. Yeah.
Do it. Oh, I've got another horrible fact about
Big
him too,
sword.
but I'll move on to that in a minute.
Big sword.
We have to go there.
Carry on.
So in the Great Hall, he had their initials carved. So it was an A and a H.
That's right.
The centre of the H created the centre of the A.
While she's being
So literally, a head's being lobbed off at that moment.
The chisel.
The carpenter's there chiselling the initials off, but they missed one.
Yeah.
So in the Great Hall, there is still one that's hidden. I like to think that the carpenters did it on purpose.
I like to think that
And I like
too.
the fact that that
And
memory
fans.
is
And fans.
that's still there, even though he tried to completely. And you've said this before about she changed. She was the catalyst for a lot of change.
She is modern Britain to some degree.
Yes, that there's that physical mark left.
Yeah, particularly in a royal palace.
I
like
think
that.
it's yeah.
We'll have to take a trip down to Hampton Court, won't we?
We will.
Yeah.
The other fact, then again, this is not anything to do with design and it's disgusting. By the time he was married to Catherine Howard, he's very overweight.
Yeah.
He was.
He wasn't in any way the attractive young man that he may have once been. His legs were said to be so ulcerated that you could smell them 2 rooms away. So you knew that the king was coming because you could smell his ulcerated legs.
Nice.
And that is grim. So grim.
So grim.
How did we get here?
Makes the Queen's death look like a.
Because you let me speak.
How did we get to Jubilee celebrations to the ulcerated legs of Henry
I
VIII?
don't know, that's just how my brain works.
But you know where he's buried, though, for all his love of Hampton Court.
Yes.
He's actually buried at Windsor.
Oh,
Is he?
Isn't everybody?
Well,
No.
I'm not.
No, not everybody.
I just assumed,
crowded.
I think I assumed he was at Westminster.
No, he's buried in the Royal St George's Chapel, along with many other. You are right. There are a lot of monarchs that is their final resting place. But no, he's actually.
Oh, I've got one more fact.
Go for it. Tell us. You can put your hand down now.
Sorry.
You could speak.
Jane Seymour, she was the 3rd wife. She was Henry's mother.
And a great actress,
Edward's mother. Her heart
Great in Bond.
is in a lead box.
Yes, it is.
Buried underneath the altar in the chapel
Yeah.
in Hampton Court Palace.
And I find that more creepy than Catherine Howard's ghost.
So they took out her internal organs, put them in a
why?
box, and buried them under the. I don't know.
Why her?
And where's the rest of her body?
I don't know. I don't like to think.
But why her and not the rest?
Maybe-
She was said to be his great love,
Well,
but
she
only
was,
because
yeah.
she gave him a
A son.
Yeah.
She could have been anyone. She was, just a vessel
Who wouldn't keep a heart in a lead
for
box?
his fragile male ego.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he did it then.
Yeah,
You will be mine forever.
yeah, because
Bring me my sword.
it certainly wasn't a
Put a
message
heart in a box.
to his future wives, was it?
No, true.
Put them off. Sticking with Windsor then means as I brought it up because I've got a few bits and pieces on
then.
Windsor, which is I think is lovely, and actually it's where the Queen spends a lot of her time currently now. Just because Buckingham Palace is massive, as we've already discovered. It is the oldest and largest occupied castle in the world.
Wow,
apparently,
is it?
Which I didn't realise, in fairness.
It is massive, though.
Yeah, you don't realise just how big it is. Windsor Castle has been a major royal residence since the days of Henry I. So it's got some real, even though we don't really associate it, because Buckingham Palace gets all the publicity,
course
doesn't it?
it
And
does,
that
yeah.
whole area around Pall Mall and everything. But yeah, the Henry I, and that's what makes it the oldest occupied royal castle in the world. What's more, it's also the largest occupied castle in history, often described as a town rather than simply a royal residence. Because if you see the pictures whenever they do anything there, you always see
course you
what look
do.
like little Tudor houses and all that complex. Because there's a number of people that actually permanently
Live there.
live on site. The grounds itself cover a massive 13 acres.
Wow.
As well. Queen Victoria was known as the widow of Windsor, which I really like. But of course, that's after, obviously, again, another very long reigning queen. But she was one of England's most famous monarchs. Particularly special relationship with Windsor. She loved spending time in the castle with her beloved husband, Prince Albert. And she often wrote in her diaries of the happiness she felt with him there at their royal home. She was devastated at Albert's death. And at Windsor, at just the age of 42, following a bout of typhoid fever. It's very dark again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very
He was
dark.
very young.
It was. Sad.
The whole castle was plunged into a state of mourning, and everybody wore black. Everybody.
And she continued to wear black.
And she continued.
did, yeah.
She did, yeah. Hence why she got the nickname, the Widow.
The widow.
Of which sounds kind of
creepy.
like that.
I just-
Yeah.
Um,
No
here's
wonder
the-
why you like that fact.
I know. Here's another really interesting fact. Hitler planned to live in Windsor Castle.
Wow. Oh, wow. And I thought I went too far with the heart involved.
Which again is really odd because that's what I mean. The iconic building, and they bombed it, Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
But yet actually Hitler had plans to live at Windsor Castle. He saw it as an iconic British landmark.
I bet he did.
That makes me quite feel quite, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say? Because I don't know. I've lost it.
Moving on.
That's why he never got bombed, though. That's why he never got bombed, because he was such a huge fan of the castle and he was going to make it his permanent residence. Slough was off the map, apparently. We weren't allowed. they did target, as I say, other royal palaces, where the current queen actually was when it was bombed. And if you've ever seen the King's Speech, the film,
Yeah.
they actually document that whole episode of where they had to flee. But they stayed there, didn't they, throughout the war?
Yes, she refused to leave.
She
didn't
did,
she?
yeah.
Yeah, the Queen Mum. What else have I got? 1992. Now you guys
Yeah.
old enough to remember?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't remember 1992.
Okay. The Great Fire at Windsor, which
No, I don't
was
remember it.
devastating. I think this was the year that the Queen dubbed it as a horrible analyst.
I was 8 at the time.
Horrible analyst. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway, the fire damaged around 20% of the actual castle, which is a
Sorry,
lot.
I was trying to be quiet.
And I can't believe how, like, when you look at, obviously, the history of Windsor and actually the detail that was there, because it's such an old place, to lose 20% of that to the fire,
Crazy.
I think I can't even imagine. And there's genuine pictures of the Queen, very rarely with tears in her eyes. Put your headphones back on. There you go.
I'm back. She's in.
It took 15 hours and 1.5 million gallons of water to put out the fire. So the scale of it. What is incredible, though, is most of the valuable objects and artifacts were stored in the state apartments, which was in a different section. There was no loss of life as well. I should just point that out. Just, cheer everybody on. But I remember that. But the restoration that's gone on now, if you go back and visit Windsor, you would never know.
No.
You would never know that kind of...
How would they know?
How would they know, indeed? I think my final... I've got a few more. I've got a couple, actually. But Windsor Great Park is haunted
Oh, here we go.
by a spirit who appears when the death of a monarch is near, which is what I really like about this story. According to legend... dating back
You're
to
out there with your binoculars
I know, right?
watching for it.
When's it coming?
With the historic value associated to loads of these places, you are bound to have ghost stories.
With my Union Jack on it.
Yeah.
It dates back to late medieval period. Windsor Great Park is haunted by Herne the Hunter, a spirit with antlers.
Ooh.
Sounds a bit like a Wendigo, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Who rides an ethereal black horse. Herne was originally one of the keepers of Windsor Forest during the reign of Richard II.
So why has it got antlers?
I don't know, maybe he just fashioned them for her.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's not for me to judge. He was rescued. So you put me off now.
Say it again.
God, why is it got antlers?
Interrupt the story. Go.
So Herne was originally one of the keepers of Windsor Forest during the reign of Richard II, and was once rescued the king from being injured by a stag. Maybe that's the association.
Yeah, of course.
That's why it's got the antlers.
Yep.
He was fatally wounded in the process, but was ultimately revived by a strange spirit who cured him by attaching the stag's antlers to his head. There you go. There's your answer. Wait for the story.
Sorry.
It's all right. Herne miraculously recovered, but later killed himself after being the victim of an unfortunate plot to discredit his name. Legend says that Herne the Hunter can still be seen haunting Great Windsor Park, riding a black steed. He is said to appear as an omen when the monarch is about to die.
Can you imagine if you were the monarch and you looked out the window and you saw
saw
him?
him.
in the distance?
But the Queen rides there, doesn't she, herself?
Yeah, she does.
So you imagine I'm on my horse, having a little...
Sidles up next to you.
And then,
he rocks up.
that's going to ruin your day.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
gonna ruin
Isn't it?
your
That's
day.
going to ruin your day. My final bit of Windsor knowledge,
Yeah, go on.
which is a digress, really, and it picks up on something that's been on TV recently, which people might have seen. And it's home to Queen Mary's doll's house, which is probably the single most beautiful doll's house in the world. The house was the concept of Princess Mary Louise, cousin to King George V and childhood friend to Queen Mary. And she decided that the Queen, who loved all things diminutive and decorative, would enjoy a house and it would become a gift to Queen Mary in the years after the First World War. It is unbelievable. If people haven't seen it, and we will post this
Yeah.
on our
Incredible.
socials and everywhere else, it was actually designed by
Go.
Sir Edwin Lutyens. Which
I
is
don't know who
mad.
that is.
What?
Me either.
I mean,
I love it when he tells us he says a name and he's expecting us to go, oh, wow. And we go, I don't know who that is.
Sorry,
And he
mate.
looks so upset.
probably one of the great.
Did he have antlers?
He didn't have antlers. More's a pity, because it's probably more memorable if he had antlers. Edward Lutyens was a friend of the princess at the time. But he went on to do some of the great country houses of the Edwardian period.
Such as?
What, like names?
Yeah, of the houses.
Well, I don't have them to memory at the minute. But he worked with the famous garden designer Gertrude Jekyll. So complementary garden houses. Are you Googling him, Astrid? Are you Googling?
I was going to, yeah.
It is an amazing thing. And they now reckon his doll's house is the single most intact Lutyens interior there is left, because the houses themselves have been altered and changed and things over the years. So this doll's house is like the single most.
I like that.
Wow.
Lutyens designed the house in full Palladian style as well, even though obviously this is of a modern era in some ways. He designed it in a full Palladian style. He drew inspiration from Inigo Jones, who I absolutely love, Christopher Wren, who I love, and his initial sketches differed slightly from the first completed model. I like the fact that he says he insisted the house should be viewed from all sides as well, so that it was like a proper homage to.
I mean, when you think about what he actually achieved,
it's incredible, the detail in
the
it.
artistry, yeah.
So the house has every period of British history as well, sort of through its kind of machinations when they were working it out, because it's a complete one-off.
Do you think that this inspired the great tiny interior design
Challenge thingy with Sandy Toxic?
seeing as it's Jubilee this year?
It might well have done. It might have come across somebody's radar. Because I just think it's like, because again, when you see the detail in that show, and if people haven't seen it, I'm sure it's going to be there on All 4 for a long while yet. But the detail in this is literally unbelievable. It was shown at the Empire exhibition at Wembley in 1924. And the committee who put this house together determined that the house should be a showcase for British workmanship. That's why they've got such exquisite items in there, because they had, let me have a little look. They have people from all over, like British manufacturing and makers of that time to produce replicas. So in the cellars of the house, it's properly stocked with champagne.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the bit I was reading about, which I really loved. There's a fully stocked cellar and pantry, as well as a kitchen equipped to prepare a banquet. The act of choosing which brands to include was carefully considered. Angus Jekyll, who is the sister of Gertrude, who I already mentioned, she was in charge of the kitchen. And they went through it, and they're saying about the wine cellar is well stocked with over 1,200 bottles of finest champagne, wines and spirits and beers. They were chosen by Francis Berry, the senior partner of Berry Brothers on St. James's Street, which I love, for that very reason, because they still wanted to put the very finest products into it. I just think
it's the level of detail.
The level of detail is and I mean, for me and probably for the rest of us, my favourite room is the library that's actually in there. And it is stocked with genuine contributions from literary greats of the period. And they are miniature books, and they wrote things to put into the library.
That's just...
In the same way there are famous artists of the time had they sent in little sketches and pictures that could be hung in the different rooms. It's a magnificent thing. People need to go and see it, even if you only look at it online. There's a brilliant video as well that shows how they conserve it and how the attention to detail and the care that they have for, because it's a one-of-a-kind thing. No one would ever commission something like that.
No.
And from a piece of design. Again, if you want to learn about interior design and stuff like that, it is a magnificent thing to have a look at. All the different
Magnifique.
Magnifique indeed. That's me done with my doll's house fascination.
Well, thank you for that. That was really nice, actually.
You're welcome.
I wondered where it was going, but I'm quite pleased.
It's always going to go somewhere.
At least he's brought it back to design.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, says she with the ghosts.
No, I was complimenting you, actually.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you.
Oh, here we go again. So on a lighter note, the last thing I've got on, well, actually no, I've got two things left on my list is which I've highlighted in bold and underlined is street
This is
parties.
important.
And I was kind of thinking about what if you are having a street party, what are you bringing to the table? You know, what would you bring to the table? If you
Coronation chicken.
were- Coronation chicken. Well, I've got on my list Victoria Sponge and Pimms.
It's a great party.
Yeah.
I was in Morrison's yesterday, and they have got Eton mess flavoured Baileys.
Oh, that's right.
What?
What?
Grim, so grim. Why
I mean,
would you do that?
I don't like Baileys at the best
I
of
don't like a
times.
creamy alcoholic drink.
But why would you put just for the
mess.
Jubilee, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what?
I don't want it.
I don't want that. That's not going on the table.
What am I taking? Oh, salmon sandwiches,
Cucumber sandwiches.
cucumber sandwiches.
With the crust cut off.
You've
With
got to
the
have a bit
crust
of. You've got to have a bit of side sausage as well. So you've got to have
Side
some
sausage,
cocktail
yeah.
sausages going on there.
And a sausage roll. I love a sausage roll.
Yeah, more than a pork pie.
More than a
We
pork
established
pie,
this,
yes,
didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sausage roll is king.
Jelly? Do you have jelly?
Yeah, I can imagine it being in sort of like a bun.
I like
type.
I like the aesthetic of a jelly,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily
What,
like eating a jelly.
Like in the mould of Buckingham Palace. So it's like
yeah,
a
that's
wobbly
what I mean,
Buckingham
like
Palace.
a wobbly
With like fruits
mould.
and stuff in it, and
Ooh, yeah,
I like
fruits.
that. Oh, I love a trifle. I'm
Yeah,
taking a
the
trifle with me.
Classic street
Love
party
a
food.
trifle. And I
Boozy
could
trifle.
always decorate it on the top with some kind of Union Jack.
Yeah.
You could.
Fruit
You could.
medley.
But,
Don't know what I'm trying to say.
SJ, I don't think we're decorating it like that. Thankfully, we're not being videoed for this one.
Oh. I have got one other thing on my list,
Okay.
which is.
I'm still at the street party, mate. But
Well, sorry.
especially now you're serving this, whatever this is.
Stop it. Is a Platinum Jubilee creative challenge.
Tell me more.
I think we should design our own crowns.
I mean,
I think we should all
Because
do
I'm such a
crown.
queen.
It's because you're such a diva. No, I think we should design our own crowns and we can wear them
For the Jubilee.
For the Jubilee.
mine is going to obviously be Catherine Howard inspired because I'm obsessed with the woman.
Her head.
Who, interestingly, her ghost is referred to as the Screaming Queen.
The screaming. Well, you would be.
Which I just love.
My lord,
that.
my lord, my lord.
Scream.
Difficult,
Pity on me, my
Bring me
lord.
my sword.
difficult when you've had your
I'll
head
kill
cut
her
off, right?
myself. I just love that. I just love that.
But yeah, I'm just going to leave that little nutshell there.
Gotcha.
Nugget.
Nugget.
Nugget. That's what I was thinking.
You were at the street
I
party.
need a biscuit.
You're still eating your biscuit. I just wanted to mention, so I was also looking at the Royal Gardens and parks,
Oh, yeah.
of which I believe there are 6.
There are indeed.
But the Serpentine Gallery, which is in Kensington
Yes.
Gardens.
It's just
Why is it when I start to talk, you always put a biscuit in your mouth?
because she's on the street party. She started already. God save the Queen.
Anyway, each year they have the Serpentine Pavilion. This year, it's been designed by Thesta Gates. It's called the Black Chapel.
Oh.
And I've got
Will
some
I like
pictures
this? I think I probably will like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite simplistic. I say simplistic. I'm not trying to downplay it. But
No.
It's kind of spherical with a hole in the middle.
Oh, I have
I
actually
think
seen
it's
pictures.
I think it's its
Yeah.
setting as well, isn't it? The way the sort of the light plays against the
That's beautiful.
the
I just think
foreground.
that's probably worth a visit too.
That is very lovely. Yeah, I have to admit. And of course, that's the London home of the Cambridges, isn't it? Kensington.
It is.
It is, darling.
It
I
is,
like
yes.
say that like
The
I'm
Royal
popping round.
Your pals,
Yeah,
Will and Kate.
Wills and Kate. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting an invite.
William.
I'd love to do their apartments though. I'm not going to lie.
Do what to them?
Do them up. What do you think? They are beautiful if you've seen
Yes.
a glimpse of what's been done. Although I'd like to get my hands on their country house as well.
On their country, what?
House.
I think it's time for a Pimms.
It's in Norfolk. On that note, I think we should probably think about putting
Yeah, I
some
think so.
fruit in a jug.
This has been an odd one, hasn't it?
Different,
Yeah, it has been
but
different.
celebratory.
Celebratory.
God bless Her
Jubilee.
Majesty.
We just need to.
I'm just going to say the words interior design at the end, just because we probably haven't mentioned it
Just for
enough.
algorithms.
Yeah, design, interior design.
I don't know. I think we talked a lot about design. in some way.
Historical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Influence.
I've enjoyed it.
And we're going to make a crown. So
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's it.
Um,
When am I making this crown for? The Jubilee?
yeah.
For the Jubilee. Yeah. So get your skates on.
It'd be a bit late if it was for afterwards, wouldn't it?
I don't think we could wait another 70 years.
I think I'll be dead by then.
I won't have the dexterity to make one. And on that note, thank you for listening. I hope we've been entertaining and informative in some shape or form. Do go and visit some of the things we mentioned, though, because they are, this doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't. Yeah.
They are amazing places to go and visit if you're interested in some of the royal history and design. All that's left for me to say is thank you for listening, as I say, and contact us on our email, awkward@nda.ac.uk. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Jubilee and what your favourite piece of royal design is, if you indeed have one, even if it's a screaming ghost. We'd still like to know.
And if you have any more interesting facts.
Or any more ghost stories?
Yeah, let us know.
Or your ideas for a street party.
Contact us on our Instagram. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
TTFN.
Bye.
Bye.